This was delivered by Dr. Mrs. Comfort Ibironke Shodia, Associate Professor of Agricultural Extension and Gender Studies, and Head of Department of Agricultural Extension and Rural Development of the College of Agricultural Management and Rural Development at the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, Ogun State. The lecturer reinforced the point that parents should not see the education of their children, especially the girl child, as a privilege but a right. She urged the students to be dedicated and persevering to achieve results. The lecturer, Dr. Mrs. Comfort Ibironke Shodia, advised stakeholders like government at all levels, religious leaders, parents themselves, and the NGOs to do everything in their power to salvage the education of the girl child in Egba land from the woods. She ended by suggesting the creation of Egba Foundation to help push the girl child education campaign in Egba land. She canvassed the creation of more girls' private secondary schools and the upgrading of existing ones. Above all, she strongly advocated for interactive fora where the older and accomplished women will carry out mentorship programs for the girl child to be held from time to time.
Mr. Chairman, sir, permit me to say that some of the things I will be saying here might be drawn from my own personal experiences, which I went through as I was growing as a child. By way of introduction, I would like to start this presentation with a short story, or I'll say a soap opera of a young child. This girl was born in the ancient city of Abeokuta some years back, and unfortunately, the girl lost her parents when she was at a very, very tender age. But with the concerted efforts of our family members who believed in educating a child, and not educating a girl child alone, education for both boys and girls, they all joined hands together and made sure that they gave this girl quality elementary education. But while in school, this little girl was very hardworking. She's dedicated to academics, and she perseveres a lot. She went through a lot of challenges, which she persevered. And with the assistance of our teachers who saw that future in the lady, they all assisted her in order to get admission into the university. And while at the university, she also received favor from her lecturers and other funding bodies who gave her several scholarships to finish her university education. On the completion of her first degree, she got a job because of her performance. She got a job at the university.
The celebration of the Lishabi Festival, which entered its 27th edition this year, also featured the rich display of the cultural heritage of Egba people, as well as performances by the different masquerades, the Gunuko, Bembe drummers, and Ogodo musicians, in the midst of happy and very excited Egba sons and daughters who have converged in Abeokuta from the 6 local governments and the 4 districts, Bagura, Okeono, Owu, and Ake. These are the areas that make up Egba land to savor the joy of celebrating another Lishabi festival. The Alake, in company with some traditional rulers and chiefs of Egba land, also paid a symbolic visit to the Olumo Rock, where special prayers were said for the growth and development of Egba land. The Alake also joined in the special Jumat service, where again supplications were made for peace and progress of Egba land, Ogun State, and indeed Nigeria in general. The 2013 Lishabi Festival also featured a royal banquet hosted by the Alake, where sons and daughters of Egba land were treated to the traditional and legendary hospitality and warmth of Egba people, with music and drama presentations as the major highlights. In the drama pieces presented, the need for emphasis on the education of the girl child, which has witnessed a progressive downward turn in Egba land over the years, was again brought to the fore. An awards night at which all sons and daughters of Egba land, who have been in the vanguard of placing the Egba nation clearly ahead in the scheme of things in Nigeria in their diverse areas of calling, were honored for being worthy ambassadors of Egba nation. Among those honored were the wife of the former governor of Osun State, Princess Omolola Oyinlola, Ni Majekodumi, who is an illustrious daughter of Egba nation. Former head of state, Chief Ernest Shoneko, 91-year-old nonenarian renowned physics teacher, Chief Dotun Yewole, Mrs. Toyin Olakunrin, first female chartered accountant in Nigeria with 60 years experience in the business. Posthumous awards went to the great industrialist who founded the Lishabi Mills, Chief Joseph Laode Ladipo, who was represented by his wife and children. The late Chief John Wilson Odumbaku was also represented by his son. Lishabi Ladeji Agbongbakala was a courageous warlord, liberator, and enigma whose heroic deeds in the emancipation of Egba people from external aggression and oppression places him in a special place in the hearts of all Egba sons and daughters. The liberation of Egba people dates back between 1775 and 1780 under General Lishabi, who lived in Igbein but was born in Itaoku. The contemporary history of Lishabi, the legend, has it that after hunting for several years, he settled on the land called Igbo Lishabi, the Lishabi Grove, where he was believed to have lived and died. On the final day of the celebration of the Lishabi festival every year, it is sacrosanct that the Alake and paramount ruler of Egba Nation, in company with traditional rulers and chiefs from Egbaland, as well as sons and daughters of the ancient kingdom, amidst drumming and celebration, will head to the grove of Lishabi on the outskirts of the town, where females hunting and farming or burning of bushes are not allowed. Here, the Alake and paramount ruler of Egbaland, His Royal Majesty, Oba Michael Adedotun Aremugbadebo Okukeno IV, grandson of the 6th Alake of Egbaland, Oba Gbadebo, who ruled from 1898 to 1920 and mounted the throne of his forefathers on the 2nd of August 2005, appearing in his full regalia, pays homage to the legendary Lishabi in his grove and conducts special prayers for sons and daughters of Egbaland and indeed the progress of Ogun State and Nigeria. The grand finale of the 27th edition of the Lishabi Festival, sponsored by Globacom Limited, a multinational telecommunications company operating in 4 countries in West Africa. The closing ceremony of the Lishabi Festival began as the Alake, in company of other traditional rulers, prominent chiefs and indigenes of Egbaland, arrived the venue, which had been filled to capacity by sons and daughters of the soil